The most entitled mom I met in the hospital. Hello everyone, today's story is titled The Most Entitled Mom I Met in the Hospital. Imagine being in the hospital, recovering from an injury, only to have your belongings constantly taken and your personal space invaded. What exactly happened? Let's find out.
Hi, I'm a 21-year-old woman. Right now, I'm in the hospital due to a serious back injury. I don't like crowded spaces, but a private room was too expensive, so I chose a two-person room. And that's where my nightmare roommate comes in. The woman sharing my room is in her late 40s, and she has a 5-year-old son. Because of my injury, I have to use a wheelchair to get around. But every time her son visits, she takes my wheelchair and lets her kid ride around in it. There are plenty of wheelchairs available in the hallway, yet she always takes mine. I need my wheelchair to go to physical therapy, to the bathroom, basically to do anything, but I'd suddenly find it missing. I felt bad constantly asking the nurses to find it for me. So I politely told her, could you please use one of the other wheelchairs if you're going to let your son ride one? It's really inconvenient for me because I need it to get to the bathroom and my therapy sessions. And do you know what she said? Well, my son wants to use this one. What do you expect me to do? At that moment, I was completely speechless. But I held my tongue because I didn't want to stoop to her level, but then she started stealing my food. I kept snacks, fruit, and drinks in the shared fridge things my friends and family brought when they visited. And one by one, they just started disappearing. One night, I was lying in bed with the curtain closed, and I overheard her talking to her son. She told him, if you're hungry, just take whatever you want from the fridge. The kid asked, can I have some cake? And she casually said, go ahead. That cake was mine. She never bought food herself, and the only things in the fridge were mine. I lost it. I threw the curtain open and yelled, why do you keep feeding your kid my food? You didn't buy that. My friend did. You didn't even ask. That's literally stealing. And instead of apologizing, she started screaming at me. It's just food. Are you seriously calling me a thief over a piece of cake? Then she started going on about how people who share a hospital room should be willing to share their food too. I told her, then at least ask first. Taking someone's food without permission is stealing. And she had the audacity to yell, are you seriously calling me a thief over a single piece of cake? At this point, her son started crying and a nurse came in. Luckily, the nurse knew me and asked what was going on. After explaining everything, she said she'd arranged to move me to another room. But then, things escalated. A few days later, the worst incident happened. I had caught a cold, so the nurse told me to gargle with some medicated mouthwash to help my throat. Since I had nowhere else to store it, she told me to keep it in the fridge. It was in a dark bottle, and the liquid was a greenish-blue color. When I got back from physical therapy, the woman's son had drunk it. So the woman had to rush him to the emergency room. And then she demanded I pay the hospital bill. I was in complete shock. Excuse me. I never told him to drink it. Why should I pay for that? And she actually blamed me. Why did you put mouthwash in the fridge? If you hadn't done that, my kid wouldn't have drunk it. She then threatened to call the police if I didn't agree to a settlement. I was done at that point. I told her, go ahead and call them. If you do, I'll countersue you for theft and false accusations. And guess what? She actually called the police. When the officers arrived and heard the full story, they just scoffed. They said, yeah, no, if anyone here is facing charges, it's you, ma'am. Theft and false accusation are actual crimes. They said false accusations could only lead to charges if she officially filed a complaint. So I told her, please do, I'll see you in court. She stormed off to complain to the hospital staff, ranting about how unfair it was. But honestly, if anyone here was being treated unfairly, it was me. Eventually, the hospital transferred her to a shared 6-person room. Tell me, am I overreacting? Or is this woman completely insane?
Wow, that was intense. And here's how people reacted to this story. That woman is insane. Who teaches their kid to just take other people's food like that? I would have called the police right away. I swear, if you put literal garbage in the fridge, she'd still take it and feed it to her kid. She must have been starving in a past life. That would explain why she even let her kid drink mouthwash. Whoa, safe to say, no one is on the mom side here. But hold on, there's more to the story. Here's what happened next.
So, in the end, the woman and her son got transferred to a 6-person room. And guess what? She kept pulling the same stunts there too. I'd still hear her causing problems all over the hospital. She even kept coming to me, begging for a settlement. I told her, go ahead and sue me. If you keep bothering me, I'll add harassment to the charges too. She started yelling again, so the hospital security was called in. The staff finally banned her from coming anywhere near me, but she still wouldn't quit. She followed me around, demanding I pay her $1,000,001 for her kid's hospital bill and emotional damages. Eventually, the hospital administration stepped in. They investigated her behavior and found out she'd been causing problems everywhere. And today, she got kicked out of the hospital. The hospital even apologized to me for not handling things sooner and gave me a cake as a goodwill gesture. So, to that woman, if you're somehow watching this, stop living like that and know I was never going to pay you a single cent.
So, what do you guys think about this story? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next story.
Korea Storytime.